Speedy Feet Weekly EUC show. So we're live, and now on my computer. Yes. So this is working. Alright, so I should be able to chat to you and use the old keyboard. Yeah, I can see it. I think. This is a rough start, isn't it? Just trying to see it. So I've got chats on the side. There's quite a few people that are more experienced than me in this, but this is just a little test run to see where I'm sat there. Can I use this mouse? I can. That's all good. Stream health. Okay, right, well, that's working. So you guys should be able to stream options. You should be able to see me. If you've got any questions or anything, then obviously let me know. I'm just going to be sat here while I click some buttons. You can't edit anything when you're basically sat there. Someone say hello if you're there. If you're there, type hello, hello, and speak, or forever hold your peace. Camera. Shouldn't have pressed that. That's gone wrong now. Okay. Yep, that's still working. Hello, David. How you doing? How are you doing? This is me sat at the desk. just exploring the live stream. So we're trying to do. I probably should have typed you. I could just say hello, but I could just say hello, David, on there as well. Just literally running through the workings to be able to set up a weekly show. It won't be in here. It'll be in a special room that we've built up to do a show, where we can fit stuff in, have multiple cameras and things like that. Just prattling about with it at the moment. What's this show titled, I wonder? Show is titled Speedy Feet Weekly EUC show, isn't it? It doesn't show that on the YouTube. It shows something completely different. So if you guys got any questions about electric unicycles or anything at all around that industry, then fire away and try and answer them. But yeah, let's have a quick look. Advanced settings. Let me know what wheels you've got. That's what I want to know. I want to know what you're riding right now and how many miles you do. Do you do any miles or not? Who wants to see Bruce? Anybody? Brucey! Come here. He's always with me. Here he is. Come on, Bruce. Up here. Come up here. Up here. There's Brucey. Look at him. Isn't he a lovely boy? Is that it, is it? He's gone. Brilliant. Dogs. Right. So, yeah, I can see all this on my computer, and I can see it on here. So what I will do is end this in a minute, because everyone's very quiet. Apart from David, who said a hello. Charging up batteries for one thing we've got of interest filming is Crane 2. Has anybody got the Crane 2? 3-axis gimbal stabilizer. I was going to wait for the DJI one, the Ronin S, but nah. Go up and waiting for that. It's not in the UK until the end of the month. So we're going for that. Because we've got no stability on our L series lenses. When can we expect the new 9bot to the UK? You're talking about the 1Z, I assume. So, yep. So the 1Z has been great fun in that coming in. Maybe this year. Maybe this year is what we've been told. So possibly. They need C certification on it, for one. And this may not be a bad thing. because usually the first runs you come across problems and snags when you mass produce something, as many of you will know. So it might be a good thing that it's going to be later, but it does seem a little bit late. I really, really, really want my hands on that Z10. I really do. Yeah, I can't wait to ride one. Cannot wait to ride one. Really looking forward to it. Really excited about it. I just wish it would arrive now, but hopefully this year. So the way you come with, if you import those from China, so some will come up in AliExpress and stuff like that, may or may not be genuine, we don't really know. But if you do, you're breaking the law essentially, because your class is the manufacturer when you import from outside of the EU, and you're supposed to basically you basically got to comply with EU regulation, and if you don't, then you can get in trouble. And customs will probably grab it anyway and crush it. V8, maybe V10, can't wait. Saving for V8, yeah, the V8. Hi, Stephen, by the way. V8 is a cracking little machine. If you saw the other live we did a few minutes ago, Mike's actually leaving to go home on the V8. He's travelling home right now, 8 miles there. And he's been travelling in, I think, all this week on the V8, so 8 miles, 16 miles a day on it. Not on one charge, may I add. Christmas present, yeah. Saving up's the best, yeah. How much do you think it sell for? The Z10, it'll be a lot of money. So it's going to be anywhere between 1,500, 1,800 pounds, I would have thought, including VAT. Obviously, if you're outside the EU, and it's going to be ex-VAT. Or if you've got a VAT registered business in the EU, then you can get it ex-VAT as well. But yeah, that sort of money, basically. So it's going to be a pricey machine, but man oh man, don't you think it looks good? What do you think? Do you think it looks good? Do you like the fat tyre on it? I mean, I think for the trails I'm going to be riding, because predominantly I'm riding fire trails, so gravelly, and occasionally, because winter, I'm hitting soft mud, which is not nice on a thin wheel. So a 16-inch wheel with a thin diameter, ooh, that's a bit iffy. So the thicker wheel will be quite nice, essentially coasting across that sort of terrain. It'll be quite nice, and taking the impacts of the larger stones and things like that should be quite nice, I think. We'll see. We'll see. I can't wait to put it through its paces and give it a good beating. Poor thing. But it looks the business. Basically, you do become Batman when you get on that Z10, don't you? That's essentially who you are. In my mind, anyway, that's who I'd be. So I am Batman. But we'll see how it goes. So we get emails all the time coming in. Just reading through emails now, customer emails. There's a lot of threads go on. There's a lot of activity. It's amazing, isn't it? Because new people coming into this electric unicycle market, buying for the first time, don't realise how deep it goes with all the different types of models, different speeds, and then you've got a huge group of people from all around the world riding. You've got thousands of riders, and you see it across multiple forums and multiple Facebook pages. Just amazing community. Loads and loads of people involved in it. It's great. It's growing, and these new models can only but help. There's a lot of buzz around the KS18L. There's a lot of buzz around the V10s, the Emotion V10s, V10F, the 9 Z10. No one's talking about a Z6 or Z8, which is good. Z10 is what we want. Biggest, fastest, that's what you want. Most powerful, isn't it? And the M Super X. So we've got those on order. M Super X's are coming in. Can't wait to try that. That'd be absolutely brilliant. It looks like that's a real tank of a machine. So I'm looking forward to that. We've got a lot to test. So we've got a lot of videos coming up. So we'll have the V10, V10F video. We'll have, they'll probably done the same video, possibly between the two, take two models out. We will then probably most likely sell those as well afterwards. So there'll be a discount on those. Grab those. That tends to what we do now. So we do a video on a product and then we'll sell it off just marginally cheaper, even though it's only a sort of 40 miles put on it. So we've got that videos. We've got the KS18L video to come out. We've got the M Super X video to come out. We've got the M10-3 video to come out. We've got a lot to do, basically. Oh, we'll go back to chat because I'm missing some chats here. So let me have a quick look. They may be coming in slower than if I'm slow to reply because I'm not even seeing them yet. So let's have a look. Hello, Stephanie. Did you make another big ride? So, well, I'm not sure what you mean by that, but basically we had we had a 200 miler, which was 2 years ago now. Wow. And then we did a massive ride, which was across 5 countries, and it was 1,080 miles, and we did that in 13 days. Yeah, that was pretty epic. That was epic, but brilliant fun. Very tiring. Got back looking a bit like this, actually. Doesn't change much. We got back completely exhausted. Slept real well. Got up first thing in the morning. Ride for 8 to 10 hours. Massive challenges. Anyone thinking of doing that, do a lot of research first. It is pretty difficult, but just great fun. If you've got a good friend with you, it's brilliant fun. David, yeah, so well, yeah, same type of trails, yeah. So the Z10, the massive tyre on that, never mind the actual build of the thing, just the tyre itself. Big trails, ideal. So good option, good mileage and power as I can. See, people always think big massive motors, big power is the answer. I would say something like a 9.1 to learn to ride on the Gen 2, 9.1 E+. It's a great wheel to learn to ride on. If you can get that wheel, you can knock it about quite a bit, and it's not ridiculously expensive, and it can be sat there, because what will happen, you'll find when you start getting into this, is you'll find that your friends want to have a go. They see how much fun it is, and see how much fun you're actually having on it. Like, I've got to have a go. And when you then upgrade to a bigger wheel, you don't want to give them your really good wheel. You will then pass them your 1 E+, and you won't mind if they knock it about a bit. You're like, that's fine, it's fine. You practice and you do what I have to do. So I would recommend that to start with, or V8 if you want to jump up, but it's more expensive, so it's £1,000 for V8. There we go. So that's my thoughts on that. I'd always say that sort of wheel, 625 quid. If you find out that you actually don't like it, which you've never had anyone not like it, but if you find out you couldn't get on with it or something like that, something happened, you've only spent 625 quid, and you can knock it about and put some panels back on, it looks like new again. But if you've got the budget and you want to jump straight in, you've got the KS16S as well, which is great middle ground between all these bigger wheels and the smaller wheels. And you'll never be disappointed with that. The power of 1200 watts is crazy. So you've got that option, but it's 1,500 quid, and you probably will knock it about. But most people will knock their wheels about anyway. My V8, I wanted to start that. I've had that about a year now, I think, and I wanted to keep that pristine, and it looks trashed. And I've only come off it twice, but throwing it in the back of the car all the time, I don't literally throw it. Put it in the car, it just naturally gets scratched. You can't keep them nice looking, unfortunately. So good power delivery rides. Yes, thank you very much. Do you deliver to Ireland? Yes, we do. We deliver to Ireland. Yeah, no, Stephen. Is it Stephen? Yeah, Stephen. In the moment, we're doing free shipping, so we've got free shipping worldwide on wheels. By the way, slight complications with that. If you add loads of accessories to the car and it reaches a certain kilogram limit, it gives you free shipping, and then we write to you and say, by the way, we don't do free shipping on parts, we do free shipping on wheels to get people into the sport hobby. So yeah, free shipping to Ireland. Grab it while you can. It's there at the moment. It costs us money, put it that way, but we want to get as many people into it as we possibly can. 9.1 E+ is fantastic. Yeah, so I rode. Wow, you've run 1,200 kilometers on it. Yeah, that's good. So we did the 200 miles on our E+, and it was painstakingly slow, but we were loaded up and we had battery compartments attached to it, bolted onto the front. If you haven't seen it, go to our YouTube channel, Speedy Feet YouTube channel, and look for 200 miler, and you will find this split into 3 days. I think it's a 3-day video. But they just keep on going and going and going and going and going. Absolutely brilliant machines. And I rode one for 2 years before anything else. 9bot, that was there basically as the machine, the reliable machine, the tank of a machine to learn to ride on. And I've done loads of miles on it. Probably done, I don't know, 1,500 miles on one in total. Absolutely love it. Brilliant machine. Do I ride it now? No, because I've got the V8, so there's no point. We've got it in the warehouse, so we ride around when we're doing picking and packing stuff and bombing it back and forth and going to couriers and things like that. It's always been used. Sat there, being used. So it's still going. And Mike was riding it last week, an E+. So, yep. Mike's son's got an E+. He's got a C+, I think. Original C+. So, yeah. Great machine to start learning out. And you'll always lend it. Once you get into this, you'll always lend it to your friends. And I hope you do. I hope people out there are actually getting people into this. Hey, Duff. Brilliant. Hello. Hello. Look, I can type as well. Kind of type. What can I do with that? I can click on it, report. I can report you. That's good, isn't it? No. Oh, look, I can add you as a moderator. Look at that, look. Boom. I don't know what that does. I can remove moderator as well. You had it for a split second there, Dave. It's gone again now. I can do loads of things, see? So it's just really, as I said at the start of this live stream, it's just to test out things for when we go for a weekly show. So a weekly show will be good. Again, I'll recap. Purpose-built room is the idea, with a bit of a wider camera angle, so we can actually fit in. Probably live stream straight off something like this. Get a different lens on it, and bring it nice and wide. And then we can bring product in and other questions, things like that. Maybe do a bit of servicing or replacement of boards or something. So when are you going to do a video on the M10 III? I am going to do one. It was in the list I gave out at the start, but because you're in America, you're behind us. You behind us? Yeah, you are. You're behind us. So yes, I will be doing M10 III. Got loads of videos to come up. There's a lot of exciting content. What I absolutely love is when people bring out brand new product. It's brilliant, because the industry buzzes and it gets everyone interested in it. So we got loads of different things. We've got the V10, V10F. We got the KS18L. We got 9.1Z10, which isn't out in Europe until possibly this year. We got the M Super X. So yeah, so the M10 III. Hold on. If we had a camera angle sorted, I could actually do it now. But it's sat here. I'll go and get it to prove it's sat here. It's sat here, charged up. Oh, that's heavy. Oh. So it's in the box. You see? I'm not lying. There she is there. Can I actually... There she is. Ready to go for the unboxing. And I've never ridden an M10 III. You see? I'm holding out. But we're so busy that I just haven't had a chance. So it's sat there, managed to charge it up. Well, I'm really excited to ride that as well. The tyre's like that. It's brilliant. Title wheel tyre, yeah. So charged up, ready to go. Just got to get on with it. And yeah, we've got a guy that we're trying to bring in to do the videos to help, because it's very difficult when you're on your own to do the videos, and it's very time consuming when you go and set up a camera, ride off, ride back, film, start, stop, check, go back, check the lighting, check the sound. Yeah, it's always been done on an iPhone since day one, which kind of works, kind of nice and raw and real and gritty. But it'd be nice to get some good long shots, wouldn't it? Things like that. So, yeah. I'm getting told to hurry up now because it's late here. It's 7:30. Still at work. Right. Let's look through some of these comments. I'll answer some of these, and I probably need to get going, to be honest. 4 children at home and a wife. Let's have a look. M10 review, yep. So finally do something about legalising EUCs sometime at the end of the year. Hopefully. Brilliant. That would be absolutely brilliant. Because Germany's got a bit of a problem with it, haven't they? I mean, here it's a grey area for sure. But I've just had a conversation with a customer today on the phone. I think it was Damien, if you're watching. And he was saying, police car pulled alongside me the other day. I'm like, whoa, and say nothing, which is a response I get. It's kind of not an issue unless you're being silly on them. So what have we got? I'm ready to move up from my generic wheel, and I've also been considering the InMotion. The InMotion V8, and to let you in on something here, and I try and tell as many people as I can when I speak to them, we have had no returns of faulty V8s. Now that's, for us, is completely unheard of across all brands. You always get issues, you're bound to, aren't you? And we're bound to get a V8 at some point come back, but we've had no failures on V8s. The InMotion V8, just amazing machine. Really good, and that speed is basically there. 18, 19 miles an hour is a ridiculous speed to be travelling. And I know there's a lot of stuff that does faster than that. Obviously, we did it in our 1,000 miler. But that is a sweet spot machine. Nice, small, light, compact, and powerful at 800 watts. So, yeah. I will love the M10 III, apparently. I hope so, yeah. It looks cracking. Marty's given it some good feedback. And Marty rides a lot of wheels, so I trust his feedback on that. And so I'm looking forward to it. That's partly why I'm looking forward to it, because Marty's given it a good write-up, really. So, yeah. What's the quickest wheel on the market? So the quickest way to get into hospital on the market at the moment, I think, is the Monster. The 100-volt Monster, probably. So, yeah, the quickest route to hospital would be, yeah, the 100-volt Monster, and riding that at 35 miles an hour, something like that. Don't do it, because that's just crazy. If you go to France, you're all welcome. Thank you very much. I should start traveling at some point. Again, it's time. So someone's guessed 100-volt monster. Yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, the thing that Gotway do well is they make machines that have got huge batteries and go ridiculously fast. That's one thing they do well. And I like Gotway because they're pushing the boundaries, basically. They're always pushing forward. Now, their QC, maybe iffy. Maybe. Definitely. But man, oh man, we couldn't have done the 1,000 mile or anything else in the same time as we did it. And the machines performed. Apart, I had issues which you haven't seen yet. But you've probably heard about, because we put the video up at the time where I had a board failure. But it's always context. So if you've got a failure of a machine, I can tell you now from doing this for years now, there's always context. And I can explain away, without having to defend that machine at all, that it was the ride that was the issue, not the machine. We had travelled down a hill for 3 miles. This is in Yorkshire. Backpacks on, so 15 kilograms on our backpacks, full armour on, and full head helmets. Downhill, which makes them very, very hot because they're not getting the wind flow through the back of the board as the tyres going around, because you're going really slow going downhill. And then we immediately went down this hill. In Yorkshire, they don't build hills, they don't build roads around the hills like you do everywhere else in the world. They basically go straight down, straight up. Don't know why. And Jonathan's a Yorkshireman, and he thought it was quite crazy as well. And we basically were going up another hill, so 3 miles essentially the other way up the hill, and we were weaving to try and eradicate the pressure on the machine, stop it getting hot, because we're going so slow and it was above the degrees it should be climbing anyway. And then traffic started building up behind, so we had to pull dead straight, and that's when it happened. And that was at 600 miles in? Something like that, I think. You'll see that in the upcoming videos. But Jonathan's, you see, did the whole trip, no issue at all, and I've still got it here, and I was riding it around earlier. And let's have a look. How's Zoe? How's a Zoe? For those of you who don't know, I drive an electric car, and I got a Zoe this time around. Absolutely brilliant. The Zoe's going really, really well. What's the mileage on the V8? Well, the mileage on my V8, probably 500 miles, something like that, I would have thought. What do you prefer, 100 volt or 84 monster? I prefer the 84 volt monster, because once you go to 100 volt, you're restricting the number of cells you can fit into the body of the unit. So you get a bigger battery pack potential with an 84 volt, without adjusting the size of the body, obviously. So 84 volt, 2,400 watt hours. How can you beat that? You can just ride and ride and ride. Or if you're not doing hugely long journeys, it means you can put it in the car and forget about charging it for a whole 2-3 weeks, basically. So that's why battery pack, and it's got more than enough power. Monsters, if you think of getting a monster, if you ride around city, don't bother getting a monster, because they're like a big boat. So moving the thing about left to right, stopping quickly and accelerating fast, that's a no go. But I love it. I love the monster. It's great for what it's designed to do. Did I have any problem with the police over 1,000 miles trip? Nope. We had police wave at us and say "way," and that's the only thing we had from the police. So across those countries, no issue. Upgrading from 9.1 E Plus, would you suggest the V8 or the 16S if the price is not a factor? If price is not a factor, I would go with the 16S. Yep. How much miles do you get at the 100 volt? Don't know. So we won't get 100 volt in to test. We've got 100 volts in stock. Well, actually, we've run out. We sold them. But we've got more coming in. We've paid for them, and the order's going to be inbound. I think they're leaving middle of next week. So we've got more coming in. We won't unbox one and test it. It's basically going to be a bit pokier than the 84 volt. So Duff's saying as well that you'd get a 16S over the V8. Yeah. So if first time wheel and you've got a budget of £1,000, I would say V8. If you haven't got a budget of £1,000, then go for the E Plus. 9.1, obviously E Plus. But if budget is no concern, the KS16S will fit into that. It'll fill all those areas. So even 6 months in, and you feel like, oh, I want more power from a lesser wheel, you won't get that with a KS16S because it's got plenty of power. It's got a 1200 watt motor. It's just incredible. So if you're with side by side on the KS16S and the V8, and we've done this, and the V8's ticking along at sort of 16, 17 miles an hour, on the KS16S, you just lean forward and you're gone. Which don't recommend for people that aren't familiar with wheels. You know, you don't want to be doing speed. Speed's where you start getting injuries. That's the trouble with speed. And so if someone comes with a wheel and they say it's terrible and they've broken their arm, wrists or whatever, collarbone, speed must have been involved. They weren't riding at a speed they could roll out of comfortably. So, yeah. But the power is quite an important point. Power tends to equal speed, but there's a good thing with power. One is less likely to have a cutout. And secondly, when you come to a hill, and if you're doing 15 miles an hour, and you come to a hill, you can continue doing 15 miles an hour if you've got plenty of power. If you're lacking on power, then you're going to have to dial that back to about 8 miles an hour when you go uphill. So there's that to consider as well. Is the King Song, sorry, I'm jumping questions here. Are your 18L on shore yet? They should be here next week. They hit customs Tuesday, Wednesday this week, something like that. So they should be. And we've got one to test because the customer is kindly letting us use it. And he's going to get a small discount for letting us do that. The King Song app is working for me, but it has never been not working, apart from in the video review, if that's what you're referring to. And there's a little tip for everybody, if you haven't come across it, the King Song app, if you can't register, come off the Wi-Fi network and go onto data network on your phone, and it will work. Because that's what I did, and that's thanks to a customer writing in. He found that out accidentally when he's out and about riding, when he had no Wi-Fi. He's like, oh, I registered. And when he tested a few things, he's like, it's Wi-Fi it's screwing up. So, yeah. So, we'll see. I think it's 16S. How many miles will it do on a charge? Well, Ben, go and watch my video. And go and like, subscribe if you haven't to the YouTube channel. And share the video. And comment on the video. And you'll see how far I get out of it with my weight in the temperatures I was riding in. Etc, etc. So, yeah. Go and do that. Read some 18Ls are being flagged as illegal by the app. Yes, I've seen that, but I can't comment. Sadly, I don't comment on things I don't know about. I try not to anyway if I can help it, because it leads just to complete misinformation. So I'm sorry, I can't answer that. But I have seen people talking about that as illegal. Yeah. Maybe with that instance, as anyone's having that problem who's watching this, maybe try coming off Wi-Fi and seeing if you still get the illegal side of things. Maybe so. I'll just tell my lovely wife I'm leaving in 10 minutes. Currently chatting to lovely EUC riders live. Sent. Good, isn't it? Do you know where I get a V8 from? Rocking my brain. You need a reputable dealer, really. You need someone that's got a history of good customer service and has got a good solid 2-year warranty and has got knowledgeable members of staff and know what they're talking about. So I don't know where you can get one from. Will I be leaving on EUC? Now, there's a story about the EUC, and I shared it earlier. I'm not sure if it was on this live stream or the quick one we did earlier. I do less riding in summer because I've got a husky than I do in winter. It's very sad for me, but the joy of having and owning a husky is sort of levels that out a little bit. But yeah, it's quite sad because I'm looking now, I'm out the window, it's going a bit dusky. I just want to be out riding, but you can only do it when it's cool enough. So 16 degrees for him shouldn't be worked above 16 degrees. So it's about 25 today to 30. Your Speedy Feet M Super V3 is still going strong. Yes. I mean, I was selling to you, Duff, and Marty, I think, before you had dealers in the States, or any reputable dealers, should I say. Possibly. I might be wrong on that. I'm not doing anyone down. It was just at the time when this stuff was new, when it was coming out. I mean, I always think back to the excitement I had when that 9.1 came for the first time. It was brilliant. It was like, what is this thing? And I try and grab onto that emotion of having that wheel for the first time and riding it. And that's what it must be like for people who just come across these wheels. I had a guy who, what did he order the other day? I think it was a KS16S. He had just come across them. He was riding motorised skateboards. And he hadn't come across these, and he thought that was it. And then he came across this, he's like, whoa, you're so free. When I see you riding on your videos, you're off curbs and up curbs, and you just across grass, gravel. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Give your husky a shave. Yeah, you can do, but apparently it's ridiculously dangerous to shave a husky. They get all sorts of illnesses from being shaven. It's a shame, but otherwise I would shave it. Yeah, 9bot videos. So 9bot has got a place in my heart because it is a great starting machine, and it actually will do a lot of people. I mean, we've got customers that have done 5,000 kilometres on them. They've replaced the battery and it's still going. Incredible, really. People who look after their wheels, they get a lot of mileage out of them. They really do. So, Oh, let's have a look. Do you think you've got in total on ECs? Oh my goodness, how many miles have I got on wheels? Oh, it's loads. I wouldn't know. 10,000 more? I don't know. It's split across so many machines that it's just ridiculous. And we've got here 4 X 9-bot 1s I used to ride. And some of them are in, they're going to be framed. They're from the 200 miler. They're still here. Oh man, this 10 minutes, like, Duff, you're right, these streams are going to last longer. Shall I go and get one that was, no, I can't be bothered. It's up on massive racking in the warehouse. It's one with the panels where I've written all over. It's Jonathan's wheel, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know, 10,000, something like that. One wheel XR. Oh, yeah, I've seen your little videos on that. I thought you'd take to that like a duck to water. But it looks like they're more difficult to ride than it would appear. So, yeah. Be interesting to get on with that. I can't see that being... I contacted them when they first came out and said, do you want a distributor in the UK? But they said they weren't ready to push it out to the UK then. I think that was their answer. So, was it them or was it Boosted that said that? Contacted one of them. Contacted both of them, but yeah, not sure. But has Jonathan Hawley given up YouTubing? Tell him he is not that clumsy. I cannot lie to him. He is that clumsy. He is that clumsy. Honestly, I hope he's watching this. Jonathan, you're watching this? You clumsy oaf. Oh, poor Jonathan. He's a brilliant bloke, but he is clumsy. Yeah, no two ways about it. It's amazing, really. He's ridden thousands of miles as well, but still manages to have regular accidents on his wheel. Yeah, pretty bad, really. Yeah, me and Jonathan together. Yeah, things tend to go south fairly quickly with me and Jonathan. I'm ridiculously competitive. So, for instance, when we were riding across that plank, rode by it and thought, right across that, and thought, that's not a good idea. And Jonathan was like, meh, you mentioned it now, so we had to do it. Jumping over the log, we had to do it. There's all these sorts of things. And like Jonathan found out that, yeah, he lost his M Super into the water and it survived. I was amazed. You watch that in slow motion, it dunks itself into the water. He's like, picks it up and it's back again. So, yeah. Jonathan is a good guy, yeah. He is. He's hilarious. He did do a nice review on the S2. He did. He asked me for advice on how to structure it and how to do it, and I think that advice has helped him out. And for you Americans, that's sarcasm. He's perfectly capable of doing a video review himself. That's why I try and draw him into these video reviews, you see. One, it's very difficult to do video reviews unless you've got multiple good riders, because videoing flying drones whilst riding is a challenge. So, but yeah. Ian, what's the worst accident you've ever had on an EUC and why? Injuries. I am proud to say I have never broken anything because I always ride at a speed that I can roll or run out of. Bear with. I had a load of flyers printed up the other day. So, such is the importance. I've had 1,000 of these printed up. Now, these are the thank you things we put in with orders of wheels. So when someone orders a wheel, you put these in, and we ran out the other day, and they had the old website on, so we put them back on. But if you buy a wheel from us, you get this in the box. The electric unicycle is an awesome invention. Hours of riding 1,000 miles can be travelled without incident. It's great fun, but please turn over and follow 3 basic Speedy feet steps before you go out riding. So that's what you get in the box. And then you get a nice little backing piece there, which might be in reverse for you guys, depending on how this is mirrored. And step 1, the most important thing, let's see. Ride at a speed you can run at, from 0. Remember, if you hit something and you fall, or you simply come off from looking at the birds in the trees, you will suddenly need to run at that speed. ... Or eat some dirt and lose some teeth. So that's the first one. It's also done a bit of jest, obviously. It's light-hearted, shall we say. Yeah, so step 3, let's just skip to step 3. If you are Usain Bolt, please don't travel those speeds on pavements or anywhere there are pedestrians. You are riding an electric unicycle that weighs 14 kilograms, which is back in the days of the 9-bot. We didn't change it, we just left it, of the 9-bot 1. Wonder what it's like to get hit by 14 kilograms? Get a friend to drive by and throw your 9-bot at you when travelling at 15 kilometers an hour. You will get the point when you wake up in hospital. and just in case we get sued, there's a disclaimer there. It says, disclaimer, do not do this or you will die. But there you go. So I haven't had any broken bones in answer to your question. Well, no, any injuries? I've had mild injuries. Yeah, I had a big impact 3 months ago when I was just fixed up the back light on, no, the front light on the Monster, because I borrowed one off a customer, which I then purchased off the customer for the 1,000 miler for the remaining bit. And on the evening when I was talking to him on the phone, when I went to go and pick it up, he dropped it. You know who you are. And so I fixed that a couple of months later. I went out on it and I was with Bruce. Now, a word of warning, walking dogs on these wheels. I ride, well, I've got my lead here, but I ride, he's very often off lead for one, because we live in a forested area. But when he's on lead, I ride holding the lead in this hand, and then I run through about a metre, half a metre of cord, and then this bit runs off to Bruce, the dog. That way, you get to feel what the dog's doing, so you can feel him pulling, or braking, or whatever. You can feel it run through your hand, and you know that he's braking. And then you can prepare by putting back. Now, I wasn't concentrating. This is the only time, and probably the last time I'll ever do this. The lead was at full extension, I didn't realise, and he slammed on the brakes to go to the toilet. Yeah, and I jackknifed. I literally turned on the spot at about 20 miles an hour and flipped off, landed on this wrist and rolled out of it. And then I looked up, and my Monster, a 35 kilogram Monster, was there. And I went, ugh! Turned to the side, and it smashed down the road, well, track. And I thought, oh no! And I was in a lot of pain. And I'd, yeah, this bruised up. So I thought I might have broken my wrist at that point, but I hadn't. I was going just slow enough that it wasn't enough to break my wrist. And the Monster survived, but broke the very part that I just replaced. So that's the only, out of all these years, that's the only real bad. I've had a bad one where I winded myself incredibly badly. I was like, trying to breathe. But that's, again, I was actually, both these things are being silly, basically. So it's not like I'm just riding along and, oh dear, look what's happened. It was things where I wasn't concentrating, and I was essentially towing a dog, because it was full extension of the lead. And the other one, I had jumped, I was on a 9-bolt E+, and I had hopped it off a tree root at speed, tried to land it into a berm, which is a cutaway. If anyone's done motocrossing, it's a cutaway a bit like that. And you can go into it and around, and I was trying to do that. It's a journey I do all the time. Hopped up, misjudged it, it turned in the air, flipped me off, and I landed smack on my side on my back here. And that was exciting. So yeah, so no real injuries. I would say no injuries, no cuts and grazes and bruises, but I wouldn't call them real injuries, no. So there's my serious falls. I had one on that 1,000 miler, but I was going probably about 6 to 8 miles an hour, so it was no biggie because we're going uphill when the board failed. But I was wearing a 15 kilogram backpack, and with the weight and the sudden fall, there's almost no way of being able to maintain a run. So you could see me in the video managing 3 steps before I rolled over into the pavement. Let's have a look. So, is the King song the easiest to change tyre? I wouldn't have said anyone's a easy to change tyre, because in all electric unicycles you need to take off the half of the unit, and the easiest way around that is to take off the half that hasn't got the board attached to it, if it's got one board in it, which almost all of them have, and you just strip off the side which has got no board in it and no motor cable, so it's just a lot easier to change the tyre. So never be cocky, right? And I've heard a lot of customers have got serious injuries and they've been drunk whilst riding a wheel, so that's a big no-no. And I basically hardly ever drink, so I don't have that problem. I didn't get injured on the fall. About 20 minutes after I fell, I banged my ankle. I was doing fine, then sprained it just. Yes, yeah. Do all V8s come with a cover? No, they do not. Certainly not from us. We don't get given them. So if we got given them, they would, but we don't. So Roland, what age would you give an ECU to a child? 12 years, younger, older? Toby, my oldest, he was 9 when he started riding. So he learnt to ride when he was 9, and probably started when he was 9. Took him about 3 months to ride. He found that was on the 9.1 E+. He found that the wheel's quite heavy for his size, so proportionately, it's a bit like when I get on a Monster, the amount of power required for me to get the thing moving and twisting and turning must be what it's like for a child to get on one, because it equates to about the same size on him. So yeah, I would have said 8 or 9 is going to be okay, but obviously you've got to enforce on them that they should not be travelling fast on this. This is not, all of these wheels you cannot expect to be absolutely perfect and never have a malfunction. So don't think you can just go up to 15, 20 miles an hour and everything's going to be fine and dandy, because you might get a failure, you might get a board failure, you might get a MOSFET fail, capacitor blow, and it just goes boom, shuts off, and then it won't even beep, it just go off. And at that point, the only way I can describe it is like you get picked up and slammed into the ground, and that's what it's like. It's not like sliding off a bike or a motorbike. It's just not like that. It's instant faceplant, unless you're going a speed that you can run out of or roll out of. So, yeah, that's my advice. With children, not a problem. I mean, it's up to you, parental discretion. But enforce that speed. What tends to happen is people learn to ride a wheel, they're real slow to start with, which is a stumbling block for them to actually ride because they're not leaning forward enough. Then when they learn to ride, they think this is brilliant, and they think, how fast can I go? And then that's when it immediately goes wrong. And that's why we did these leaflets, to try and to limit that. Which people do take notice of. They do take notice of that leaflet. And the ones that don't generally ring us 3 months later and go, I had an accident and it really hurt, and I wish I'd listened to you saying don't go too fast. And I try and keep on about it in all the videos, and it annoys some people because they like going 35 miles an hour. But are your children using them to go to school around the area? So no, recreational. Their school's too far away, miles too far. I tried to find a route through the woods, to be fair, for him, but you wouldn't want to do that. It was ridiculous. It took ages. So no. But recreational, so weekends, yeah, that's why you see a lot of content go up around the weekend times, because it's like, brilliant, let's get the wheels out. Winter, I'm usually riding them all the time. Summer, can't because of the husky, as I said. Temperature-wise, don't cope with it. So, yeah. Right, I am going to have to head off now. But what we do is we'll get back together again. I'll try and do it next week. It will be probably midweek that we do these. But you guys on this video, I'm not sure if it's going to go up and be on our channel, but comment on it. Let us know your timings and things like that. It will probably be either in the middle of the day or at the end of the day, our time. But if it's at the middle of the day, you're probably going to find that it's too early for you guys that are in America. If you're 8 hours behind, for instance. What's that? California is 8 hours behind, isn't it? I think that's quite a way in. So we might try and do it in evening time. So 5, 6 o'clock our time. So am I ever in the States? I used to travel there a fair bit. I haven't now for a couple of years. The leaving all of this behind is not possible. It's not fair on everyone else for a start. So yeah. Right, so what we're trying to do is the angle, the idea for next time, this is a very rough and ready one, the angle next time will be widened out. Hopefully we can put stuff on the table and talk through things and questions you've got, and grab product and things like that, and get it out there and give you some information and things that might be interesting to you guys. Trying to grow the community up, get us all together in a place. So let people know we're going to do this weekly, and hopefully we can get loads of people involved, and if we can work out the technicalities of dragging people into live streams part way through, that might be interesting to hear from on a pre-arranged appointment, then we will do that as well. But yes, so remember, if you've got questions, write them down, and each week you should be able to get them answered. We get a lot of questions by email as well, so we might be able to answer some of those and stop some of the emails coming in perhaps and actually answer them, and then people have an answer and point people to this video where the answer is. So right, okay guys, have a good one. Hope you all enjoy your riding out this weekend and make the most of the good weather if you're in the UK. Yeah, I'll catch you guys later. I think, possibly later. Wednesday, let's do it Wednesday.